Oh, remake. I think it's better than bomb. I think it's better than bomb. It can kill people. That's it. My AC has been down for the past couple of days, and I have just now gotten the temperature under control, and I am a little behind on videos for next week. So I am just going to throw an ultimate tier list at you, but I hope that I can give you kind of like a unique perspective or something on it. This is just a little easier for me to do, that doesn't require a lot of super big thought. It's really more on the fly decision making, which I think is also pretty fun. But let's go ahead, let's define our categories here. So right up here at the top, fight defining, I feel like that is pretty much like, you know, you pop this ult and you're kind of expecting either to win it or to get a lot from it. That is just how strong they are. Great and versatile. I mean, very, very solid ults. You can use them in many ways, right? Stuff like that. Some of the ones that are kind of like, they're powerful, but I don't really know exactly where to put them. I'll probably put here. Decently powerful are ones that are like, you're just kind of your general, your average, like, yeah, you know, that ult is like, sure, that's good ult. It does its job. And it can definitely get a lot, you can get a lot out of it. Has one good use of some of those ults that are a little, what's it called? They're a little niche, but when they work, when you're in that scenario, they are very good, right? And we'll talk about what that means later. Severe downsides are ults that are potentially good and they can do their job, but there is a limiting factor somewhere where it makes it way harder to get a lot of consistent value either out of it, or it can put you in a pretty rough spot for using it. And there's not, I'm sure you're thinking of one, there's a couple that are more than that one, and we'll get to them. And then almost worthless are ones that are basically like barely ults at all, or like just they don't really have that many good, like even if you're using it in the right situation, it really isn't that much of a big thing, right? It's not going to be that important at the end of the day. So we're going to go ahead. I am going to go down the list here. All right. Blizzard. Blizzard is... I think that Blizzard is just great and versatile. I think there's a lot you can do with this. It can be a zoning ult. It can be the really big kill threat. It demands a lot of respect. And it can potentially force out other ultimates to keep people alive. Beating Blizzard isn't even very good, right? Like, it actually beats a lot of those defensive ults. I think maybe Transcendence, but honestly not really. It's a big space clearer. It can deny a lot of other ults too. I wouldn't exactly say that it's always fight defining, because it has some weaknesses. You can, if you know, she has to be close for it to be really good. If she chucks it, then it's gonna be like way more easy to react to. It of course can be eaten. It's a projectile, but once it's on the ground, it's very scary. It is extremely scary. So Blizzard, I think, is it is still a very, very good ultimate, regardless of how good Mei is. It will always be really good. Tectonic Shock. This one's really weird, because I think it's good. But I don't know, honestly. Does it really only have one good use? I don't think so. I think it's one of those you can just like get a kill and leave, or it can be a zoning ult. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say it's decently powerful. Just in like the ways that I've set up these categories. Is it one of the, like, it's faster charging? It doesn't do like too much. Is it one of the most powerful ults in the game? I don't think so. But it does its job pretty well, and it's got a couple of uses. You can keep yourself alive with it because it gives you good shields. You can combine it with your mobility to get like a surprise pick. Again, you can zone people. It's a really powerful tool into like brawl and stuff. So I think it's good. I think it is good. Like I think initially people were underwhelmed, but once you start playing Venture, you start getting it, right? You start seeing a lot more use cases for this ultimate. So I think it's a good ult. Riptire. This one has severe downsides. Obviously, it's very easy to shoot and kill. It may not feel like it at times, but 100 health, I mean, even if you can just one-shot everything in the game, 100 health is not a lot. 2, Junkrat is not playing the game at all. Anytime where you have to relinquish control of your character to do something else, that's really not great. That's a lot of pressure you lost. Now, I think the threat of Tire is greater than some other ults that do this, but it's all the same. Junkrat needs to take himself out of a fight early to find a Tire spot so that he's not going to get killed during it. Even if he is killed, yes, the Tire doesn't shut down, but he's out now. He's done. He's not in the game anymore for that team fight, and it can very easily be caught. I mean, like, Fire Strike will kill it. I mean, I could sit here and list everything that very easily can deal with Tire. So I'm not gonna. I think it just has too severe of downsides to be really worth it. Well, obviously not worth it because every character should be using their ult in some regard, but it's not like one of the best ults in the game, even though it has kind of a lot of potential to be. There's a lot that you have to work around with Tire. Death Blossom, also super severe. I mean, like, Reaper dies. Straight up. He needs a lot of resources to make this ult work. You cannot really just rip it and ship it. Especially if you know Reaper has it. He's going to be coming from a flank, and you know that. And denying this ult's value is way easier than you think it is. Speed away from it. DM it. Shields, even. I mean, it is hard to get around some of those shields. Reaper is not very fast during it. I don't know if it's his regular walk speed, but it doesn't feel very fast, and it definitely is not. You need to set this up with your own speed, with a bubble, with a DM. And that's hard. Maybe a Suzu, right? But even then, there's abilities in this game that go right through them. Again, like, Suzu is really good against Blossom. Even there's a lot. And he leaves him susceptible. He demands a lot of resources, and sure, you could create a lot of space, but it's just too long. Honestly, I think it would be better for Reaper if he could cancel it. Then he would, not have to just sit there and die the entire time. Very similarly, Barrage. Now, Barrage, I think, is definitely better than Death Blossom because its burst potential is way more. But it leaves Pharah even more susceptible because she has to come in from... I mean, more often than not, she's coming in from the sky. Easy to hit the target. She has a bigger hitbox. Hurtbox, rather. So, yeah, I mean, both of these, like, for the same reasons, these are both pretty... what's it called? Pretty lackluster abilities. Sorry. Dragonblade. I'm gonna put it in has one good use, and that's Nano. Because obviously Nano Blade is good. I don't have to tell you that. I'm I'm tempted to put it into borderline useless, worthless, but you can combo this and make it real, right? I don't think you can really... It doesn't have, like, downsides. It's just bad, right? It's just bad by its own because the DPS is just not there. It's just too conditional. It's too easy to get away from. It's not even really scary on its own. So, yeah, it's got one good use, and that's putting another ultimate on it. And, like, if you have to use another ultimate to make your ultimate worthwhile... Okay. D.Va, bomb, self-destruct. I mean, I feel like I don't have to explain this one so much. It's, D.Va is not in mech anymore. That is a couple seconds where she can't do any of the things she actually does. She's very susceptible. You can kill her during this and deny remech. It's not that hard to do. And the bomb is very easy to get away from. You really don't want to use it offensively. It only has one good use. But again, it's harder for D.Va to use. I think bomb is just, it makes her too fragile. It removes a lot of value that she has from the fight, even though it zones people out, sure. A lot of times when the D.Va bomb comes out, that is the enemy's time to strike. It's like, okay, that we got a bad D.Va bomb out, and now D.Va is worthless. We can catch somebody here. We can catch a flanker without her coming to get it, right? Stuff like that. A lot of times when the mech is gone, the threat is completely gone too. So I would definitely say that this is not one of the best ults in the game. Bash and Artillery, for the same reason as Tyre, being out of the fight for a while, and Tyre potentially has real kills with it. Bastional, it's really hard to secure a kill. Like, it really is. Honestly, it doesn't feel worth it for Bastion to ever use this mid-fight, because taking himself out of the fight and his constant DPS pressure just allows them to swarm people, right? This is only ever good in before fights really happen. It's just really, really difficult. I'm not going to dwell too much on it because I talked a lot about it with Junkrat, but I think it's even worse than Junkrat. In fact, if I think I would like rank these kind of like this maybe, because D.Va at least can like self-survive and stuff, and Barrage has good, like these two have good burst potential, these two do not. We'll rank them among tiers as we go. Duplicate, it's great. I mean, it's great. I mean, like, it's a second life button. It's very versatile. Obviously, you can pick whatever ult you want from the enemy team. Typically, the enemy team are going to have some powerful ults, or you can just use it for something else, right? You can use it because you want D.Va and you need extra defense matrix. You need what's it called? You need a support. You need anti-nade, right? I think that could be an extra, like we need another stack of anti-nade to keep them out. Something like that. There's a lot you can do with this ult. Duplicate's very cool. Extremely high skill. Very big fan of that ult. Bob. Nowadays, after the buff, Bob is good. I'm not gonna call it like super great, but like you can't kill Bob very much anymore. You have to respect Bob. Is Bob? I think Bob's better. I think Bob's better than Tectonic. Tectonic's gonna be like near the bottom here, but I think Bob is better. You have to respect him. He does a lot of DPS. Ashe can choose who he's shooting at, which is crucial. That gives Ashe a lot of potential to like really scare you away, right? If she sees a flanker and Bob is shooting somebody else, she can mark the flanker and then make sure Bob is always marking that flanker too. That's crucial. I think that's really big, right? Otherwise, he has all the tank passive, so it's hard to kill him. You have to respect him. You're not going to knock him away. You're not going to, the sleep dart's going to come out after 3 seconds, I think, which is crazy. And he's out for a while. So yeah, definitely need to respect Bob a lot. Deadeye. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Add row below. We'll make it purple. How did that add? Oh, well, I'll make that one purple still. No, whatever. Okay, this is going to be the zoning ult limbo zone. Of like, it's not bad. It's doing its job, Is it really powerful? Not necessarily. I think now it's cool and interesting with the speed, and I think it does have actual threat now, but still, it's really a zoning ult. No, I'll keep Tectonic for now. These colors are all over the place. But yeah, we'll keep that. Symmetra Barrier. Yeah, I'm saying it has one good use, and it's because of certain map types. It's got good maps, and like, yes, you like creating a big wall in the middle of the point. It's always gonna be good, but like especially on extremely tight maps, it's hard to get around this wall, and you're forced to like it's very easy for Sim to like weave in and out of them without being forced any one way. That's the best that I think it's got. I think this ult can be good. It's not very interesting, but there's use cases for it. on those certain maps. I mean, like, basically the maps where you play sim is when the wall is good, right? You're not really playing sim on the maps that are much more open, and that the wall maybe isn't as viable. So, okay. The gigantic soldier visor image, which is crazy to me. I do not know why this is here. That one, I think it's bad. I think it's really bad. It's like, the thing is, like, yes, you're a little more accurate, but your potential DPS is still determined on your aim, right? So, like, you can still headshot, but you have to be looking at people to headshot, which it's like, your max DPS is not even increased at all. Like, your average DPS is increased, sure, but your max DPS is, like, basically the same. Oh, I didn't realize it was raining or going to rain out there. Jeez, sorry, the thunder scared me. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it doesn't, your power spike is like nothing on soldier ult. It's really easy to avoid. Is it the worst ult in the game? We'll have to find out. But yeah, it's not great. It really isn't. On the complete opposite spectrum, EMP is crazy. I don't have to tell you this. 3 seconds of ability lockout, a bunch of damage. I think it still does damage. I actually can't remember. It should still do damage, right, to your health bar. It's crazy. Even without the damage, I think it's still crazy. There's a lot you can capitalize off of this. Whole fights are stopped because of EMP before they even begin, right? It's also a really good mid-fight tool. They come in and they think that they're safe, and then Sombra just completely disrupts the plan, and now everybody's caught with their pants down, and you have to try and find ults to cancel it, or cancel it out, really, but she can just as easily cancel those ults before they happen, right? EMP is very, very, very good. I did not need to tell you this. Oh my god, and here we are, ping-ponging back. Yeah, Molten Core is not good. Not good at all. It's just, yes, you can, like, control some points of power, sure, but it's static. You can easily figure out a way to play around it. Torb has no way to force you into it. It's very easy to counterplay. That's it, right? It can be blocked. It can be eaten because it's a projectile. It just really doesn't have that much of a purpose. And a lot of these comps that are super hypermobile, you can just ignore it. There's so many comps that just ignore this. It's okay for, like, burning a tree, or even, like, I think you could probably burn Simwell. I think it still does damage to it. But other than that, like, is that really worth it? You know? I don't think so. I think this ult is not too hot. No pun intended. Whoops. Sojourn. Yeah. I mean, even though it doesn't one-shot anymore, just this gigantic burst potential over and over and over again, it's still really scary. And she can still do a lot with this. She can just pop it right after she gets a good shot and finish somebody off immediately. She can just do this for zoning. There's a lot that Soj can do with it. She can use it as, like, a pseudo sniper against certain characters, because it's just rail, right? And rail got better. Or not rail got better, but Soj got better. So her ult does, because it's kind of just like, it just powers her up, basically. So it kind of, like, in theory, it's always great, but it kind of depends on her power level at the moment, right? Right now, she's in an okay spot. She's not the best pick ever, but I still think her ult is pretty good. So I'll probably keep it, like, near the bottom here for right now in her current state. Beat is great. You need this. I don't think beats are always fight defining, although they definitely could be on a good day. But you need this, right? It denies a lot of ults. It denies a lot of stuff. You can keep tempo with it. You can get very aggressive. You can do this mid fight. You can do this later in the fights and get a refresh. There's so much you can do with beat, and it is hard to have a really bad beat, right? A bad beat is a beat that is late to an actual, like, to something, right? In response to something or in anticipation of something. But there's a lot you can do with beat. It is hard to, like, really troll a fight by getting a beat on the ground. Now, technically, you can stop it, but it's hard, and a good Lucio can really take advantage of the LOS and, like, do it safely and then pop out of a corner and then apply the beat to everybody. So, yeah, beat is very, very, very good. Infrasight. I think it's zoning ult limbos. I mean, it's a zoning ult. Go away. That's it. Don't peek me for 15 seconds. Yippee. Honestly, maybe the limbo zoning limbo zone. Yeah, okay. The zoning ult limbo zone might be a little high. Maybe I will swap it with the has one good use. Because they aren't bad ults. We'll do that. They aren't bad. Because they have a defined purpose, and they do them very well. Are they good? I wouldn't call them good ults. Yeah. Speaking of not good ults, I think this might be the worst one in the game. Valk. I think Valk might be the worst. And I say that because this is, I mean, like, her healing gets a little better, and of course you can chain it to allies. But again, it's like Soldier. It's like you're marginally better than you were. And that's it. Right? Like, honestly, it doesn't feel like, it sometimes doesn't even feel like Valk is here. And a lot of times you can just plow through Valk. It does not matter, right? The only, like, use case, there's a use case for it sometimes where you just charge ults with it. And I think an ult just to get better ults is a crazy concept. Now, that's not always how you use it. You can use it to get a safer res, to get further reses, you know. There is stuff you can do with it. Like, yes, there's stuff you can do with all of these ults, but I think that Valk is just really not, honestly, okay, well, is it really worse than Molten Core? I'll give it up. I'll put it at the top. I actually think it has probably more use cases than these, but it really isn't. It really isn't anything special. Coalescence is definitely powerful, because of its, what's it called? I mean, because it's just like a really good fight sustain tool. It's good damage pressure on the enemy. It is definitely good sustain for you. She can use it aggressively. She can kind of use it defensively. It's not great for that, but when Cole is out, you have to respect it a little bit, and Moira can juke any attempt to shut it down because she can fade during it. And I think that keeps it from being like, it doesn't have severe downsides. It wouldn't be severe, but it definitely keeps it as like that's a decent ult, right? I think Cole is definitely one to look out for, because it determines a fight, right? It can determine your fight plan, because it's like, oh, we want to do this, but oh, if they have Cole, then it might be a little more difficult to get that going. So, BAP window. This one is also decently powerful. I'm gonna put it over the zoning limbo zone, because BAP can use this to get surprise kills, right? Widow can't, Cass can't because it has the time to do something. BAP can just kill you. He can drop the window and kill you, and his allies can kill you too. So it definitely is better than just being a zoning ult, right? Otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's still really good zoning. It's versatile. It's fast. It comes back fast, which is really, really good. You will have this ult all of the time, and you're going to be building it mid-fight a lot and turn the tides of battles. Like, no, it's not extremely, extremely good because it is stationary, and, certain things don't even go through it and get amplified from it. And a lot of times it will determine by the target's firing range. But that doesn't stop it from being like something you have to respect and you really have to think about. I think BAP window is very good. All right, Nano. This ult is great. Is it better than Beat? Probably not, but it's definitely better than Dupe. Because again, this is one of those, it's like it determines fight plans, right? We're going to Nano Winston this fight, and he's going to go in on the back line. And you can use it extremely reactionary. You can use it to save people. And that also turns the tides, right? They dive my Brig. They think they're fine. I Nano Brig. Now she's scary. Because Brig at close range with a damage boost and damage reduction, she has armor. It is scary. You have to respect that, especially with an Ana pocketing her with the rest of her abilities, right? This is a lot. There's a lot you can do with Nano. It determines a lot of fights. I definitely think that Nano is very good. Now, obviously, it's not like as like it's not as good as like Beat or Blizzard, because you don't have to respect it as much, and it is easier to deny a Nano target because you just have to deny them in the same way you would deny them any other way, right? They're just getting a little more aggressive with it. And if you know that's going to happen, then you can shut it down. But you have to put a lot of care into it, and if you mess up any stage along the way, you're probably dead. Especially like right now, Nano D.Va is crazy. It's crazy. Her micro missiles kill you. They just kill you. It's insane. So yeah, definitely Nano up here. Rally. I don't know what to do with Rally. It's definitely good. It's definitely really good. You have to respect it. I'm going to put it in decently powerful. I'm going to probably put it up like here. Defensive support ult. Gives Brig a stun. You have to be careful around that. But just in general, having that higher sustainability for the backline, you have to think about it. Do not forget about Rally. If they have Rally and you just go in balls to the wall, that's it. You're kind of cooked, right? It's not super aggressive. It is typically only on reaction or like in response to what they're doing. You know, you plan for the response, right? Like when they do this, then we're going to rally. But you're not really popping Rally to be like, let's go, go, go. It's really more of like a fight turner than like a fight definer. And it isn't like super duper versatile. I mean, it's like, it's, you know, it does its job. It's sustain. It's a little bit of pressure. That's about it. It's good. It's really good. Defensive support ults are good. Captive Sun. I don't think it's that great. I don't think it's that great. And honestly, I think it's a glorified zoning ult. Because you get sunned and then you leave. You go, oh, I'm sunstruck, let me go away. And then she takes the space from it. It's good. I think it's definitely got its uses, but it is easy to eat, easy to play around. She's susceptible because she flies up in the air. It can be very easy to kill her. But even if she gets the sun down, you're playing like spam typically with an Ilyari. And a lot of times when the sun goes out, you scatter. And then you're not really going to be able to like do anything off of it. You just get them out of the way and take a little bit of space, right? Now, of course, you can find weirdo angles and stuff and get headshots and get kills and everything. But yeah, I don't think it really is that good of an ult. It can be scary, but again, it's the same thing. Like High Noon can kill you, anybody from full. How often does it do that? You know what I mean? Kitsune Rush. Best ult in the game. Hands down. Best ult in the game. You cannot challenge this. If you beat into a Kitsune Rush, you lose. If you Transcendence into a Kitsune Rush, you lose. If you... I'm trying to think of anything. Rally? Pfft, sorry. It's like even hard to deny its value. If you throw something that like, you know, like a zoning ult or something in it, it's very easy to get away, and it's very easy to get right back. And it's very easy to get onto the person doing the zoning ult. If you cold into this, you lose. Cooldown reduction, reload reduction, firing speed increase, crazy move speed increase. There's so much stuff on top of this ult. You just can't. You just cannot challenge this. You have to get away. That's just straight up. And if you do challenge this, you lose. Even if you EMP this, I don't even think it's that good. Kitsune Rush is crazy. It is crazy. A very good character with the best ult in the game already. That's a good one. That is a good one. Tree. Does it have one good use? I kind of think it's bad. It's definitely the weakest defensive support ult by a mile. And you have to be around it. And yes, like the overhealth is cool, I guess. God, I don't know. I really don't see a lot. When your ult is countered by one of the worst ults in the game. Yeah, I don't think Tree is very good. It doesn't have like downsides. I mean, yes, the fact that you have to play around it, it doesn't move, it's stationary. But it's not like Bat Window where it kills people, right? It like pulses, and you can really easily get through the pulses, especially with DPS characters. Yeah. Basically worthless. Transcendence. I don't think Transcendence is as good as it used to be. It definitely isn't as good as it used to be with the DPS. You can kill people through Trans now with DPS passive. It's still good. It still keeps Zen alive. It lets him get a little aggressive, and lets his team brawl. I'm not denying that from him, but it's definitely not at this level, right? It's not beat. And I definitely think Rally is better. But I'll keep it with the support ults because support ults are generally very good. Except for this one isn't as good. But yeah, I don't think it's not really that good. And Zen has to kind of abandon it a little early so he can get himself into, safer positions, right? So you don't even get as much value out of it typically as you would want. It's got a lot of downsides to it. Primal's great. Primal's absolutely great. You can just kill people with this. It is a second life button. It's a lot of disruption. It enables Winston to get more aggressive and take more space before he's even used the ult, right? That's great. That is a sign of a really good ultimate. Obviously, I don't think it's fight defining because it is a single target thing, and it does take a lot of work to get people killed, but hard work's hard work, and it can be a lot of good disruption. It can, there's a lot with Primal. And he can be back in the fight in a flash if he needs to. And then also if people burst him down, he's just done a lot of a lot of distraction. He comes back to his team and he's perfectly fine. And they've taken space at that time. There's so much to Primal. Better than the Overclock. Better than Dupe. Probably not better than Nano. Well, we'll keep it there. Again, support ults win. Pulse Bomb. I mean, yeah, Pulse Bomb's really good. But it's not like, it's hard. It's good, but it's hard. But you get one kill out of it, and that's great. Or you force one of the best cooldowns in the game. Or an ult. Probably not an ult. Well, it depends on who you stick, right? But it's good. It's very good. I'm not going to call it great and versatile because I don't think it has as much oomph. And you can definitely get around to fight. Now, getting somebody early in a fight, don't get me wrong, is very good. But, it's always an ult that's like you got one, A lot of the other ults, you can get a lot more out of just killing one. But killing one is good. It's really good. Especially if you can guarantee it by a sticky. Now, it's hard to hit, but yeah, I think I'm going to keep it at the top, I think, because it's very good. Now, arguably, does it have one use? I think that's just being silly. It's not what I really mean by has one good use, because it has only one use, but it's very good at, it just sticks onto people and kills them. But it does that pretty goddamn effectively. So, definitely would not count it out there. Annihilation. Is this great and versatile? It's good, I think. I'm going to put it there. And the reason I'm going to put it there is that because it gives him armor refresh, which is really good. You have to respect it super hard. He can get on you. It is just so much pressure. You have to have a plan for this. You have to think about this. Or else he will just tear through your team. It is hard to deny this outside of a team setting, I think. Outside of a coordinated environment, it's hard to deny this. So I definitely think it's great and versatile. Now, I'm going to keep it at the bottom because, again, you really can play around it. But it's hard. And if you don't do it correctly, die. Sorry. Die. So, yeah. Mines. Yeah. I'm going to put it in the limbo zone. It's a zoning ult. Just go away from the point, and you can break it. It's not very good. It's annoying as balls. Let's say that. It's annoying. I hate this ult. I really hate place and forget ults like this. Now, mine's a little different because he can boot people into them, but like, I think mine's is just silly. And I don't think it's like particularly good. It's just a zoning ult, right? Rampage. Ooh. I think it's fight defining. Rampage is like the hero ult of hero ults, right? Anti the entire team and give yourself insane bleed back. You can scrap fights back completely with one Rampage. I mean, we all saw Hanbin do it years ago. I think Rampage, it's one of those, it's like we have to have an answer for Rampage, right? And if anything gets forced out early, Rampage tears through the entire team. And we have to use another thing for it or something like that. I think Rampage is just super good. I'm not going to keep it. It's not like as good as Kitsune or EMP, but like I honestly think that having it in great and versatile is like downplaying it. Because it goes so far. It has a very fast cast time now. I can't believe they did that. Yeah, be careful. Be very, very careful, right? Okay, this is Terra Surge. I mean, it's not a zoning ult because they get put into it. Does it have one good use? I don't know what to do with this. It's not great, but it's not like worthless, right? It can still force a lot of stuff consistently. But it puts Ori, in one spot. Yes, it puts her in Fortify, sure, but it puts her in one spot. She's very easy to identify there. I'm going to put it in having its severe downsides. I'm going to put it at the top because I don't think its downsides are as bad as these, but it makes her just out of she's doing one thing. It's just zoning. Once she's out of it, then she has no Fortify unless she kept the button. And a lot of times Ori will just pop it, and once it's done, she burns because she has to kind of put herself out of position, and Ori doesn't really want to do that. Especially now that Fortify gives you a movement penalty, you can't get yourself back out of that position you put yourself in. So it's very limited, and I don't think it's really that good. Gravitic Flux. Yeah. There's a lot you can do with this. You can do this for really good cleanup. You can do this mid-fight after a couple things are out. You can do this early and get a bunch of stuff out. It's something you have to respect. It's something you have to play around. It's hard to get. Dude, I want to keep it in fight defining because I think it is really, really good. It's hard, but a good flux will just, there's a lot you can do with it. You can deny like lamp value. You can drop people on your head. It just lifts them up for your team to like feast on them, right? And like getting out a beat in response to it, that's a good trade, right? Now he is susceptible. It's okay. We'll do that. I'll give it up. We'll do that. I don't know, but we'll do it like that. Great and versatile. Tippy top on the border of fight defining, in my opinion. This is Graviton Surge. Not as good as Flux, but it's definitely good. I think you can weather the Graviton Surge a lot better. Okay, it's definitely better than Primal. I'm gonna keep it here. It's good. It is good. Don't keeping somebody in place and snatching them. It's good, but I think there is a lot more you can do, and like getting grabbed is not a guaranteed death unless it is like solo, right? If you actually grab a team, unless you have something else to do with it, like the tank can do a lot to stop it. Suzu, Lamp, there's a lot that stops grab, but at the same time that gets a lot of stuff out. And another way to like try to counter the grab is to just shoot this Zarya and kill her before she gets all her stuff. That can be a really easy way to get charge for her, and once the grab is over, then she has charge and can chase you down. So like this is a really good ult. I'm not gonna put it all the way up here. I don't think it's as good as Flux, as I think Flux consistently is more scary, but yeah, grab is definitely still very good. Here we go. Whole hog. This has one good use. It's to abduct a tank, hook a tank, abduct them into a wall, destroy them. Goodbye. It's a tank shredder ult. Otherwise, it's really not so great. I mean, like, you can get people off the point. Hooray, I guess. It's annoying, sure, but is it really that good? No. Unless you've actually hooked somebody and just guarantee a kill, that's what it does. Good for him. I hate it. I hate Whole Hog. I think it's a terribly designed ult, but you can't stun it anymore, so he just gets to do anything he wants for free. Great, man. Just kill one person, guarantee. Shatter is definitely not. Is Shatter better? Yeah, Shatter's better than Tectonic. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Is it better than Bob? Probably not. I think you have to respect Bob a lot more. Well, I mean, how do you respect Shatter? It's just get away from him, forehead. Yeah, I mean, Shatter, it's decent. A lot of people say, oh, Shatter's not very good. In Overwatch 2, you can just guarantee Shatters in many situations. There's so many characters that really can't do a lot against it, and a lot of tanks that can't really stop it. Now, Kiri can't get people off the ground early. That makes it a lot better, I think. There's a lot of times you can basically just guarantee yourself shatters and guarantee yourself kills, and that is good. That's very good. And if they aren't playing around you or know that you have shatter, you can totally just wipe a team. So it's not the best ult ever, and there's a lot you can do if it comes down, and it's very limited in what it does, but it is good, and it can do a lot. So that's a decently powerful ult. Doom ult, it has one good use. It's to keep him alive. I feel like there's not much to say about this. It keeps him alive and gives him his health back, and then he gets a punch. Sure. You're not really ever going to use this aggressively, but it doesn't have that many layers to it anyways, right? It's just go up in the sky, be invulnerable, get your health back, come back. That's about it. That is a good use. Keeping yourself alive, healthy, in the fight longer, still a good use. Lets you get aggressive, but it's no Primal, right? Oh, Remech. That's why there was 41, because Remech's in here. I think it's better than Bomb. It can kill people. That's it. It can kill people without them knowing. And honestly, okay, wait, hold on. What we're actually going to do is we're going to add another category. Add row below. This is better for Echo than... I'm just going to say better for Echo, and we're going to make it blue. That's self-destruct. It's better for Echo. It's so good for Echo in particular. Not really for D.Va. But yeah. Dragon Strike, it's a zoning ult. It's a limbo zone. I think it's actually better than most. Let's do this. Pylon's probably better than High Noon. Or not Pylon, Captive Sun. Mines is definitely better than this. I think Deadeye is probably a little better. But yeah, it's a zoning ult. I don't think there's much more to say about it. And then Cage Fight. I'm going to put it in Fight Defining. Because this playing around Cage Fight is so much different than many other ults. If somebody gets in the cage, a lot of times what happens is you have to come in the cage and brawl there with your team, right? Oh, I need to save them with beat. I have to go into the cage to beat. Stuff like that. It's a giant shield that shows up on the battlefield. Mauga can abduct people. But it's so weird. It's like I think it is Fight Defining. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it here, I think. Just because there is just so much potential that you can do with this. And basically the stuff that it forces is why it's so good. The stuff that it makes the other team do in order to try to keep them alive is what makes it so good. Because Mauga can cancel it whenever he wants and leave. But if he gets the stuff out, he doesn't care. Right? I think it is less valuable on paper than a beat or, you know, even some of like a Suzu or something like that. But because it can so reliably get these things and get them in a spot where they don't want to be using them, I think it is just so much better than you kind of think it should be, right? I think I'm gonna send it on this. Might be my hottest take in here, but yeah, it's I think it's kind of crazy. And that's it. Okay, Orbital Ray. Orbital Ray, I've seen a lot of people, I don't have a graphic for it. I've seen a lot of reactions say it's really bad. I think you have to respect it. I would put it like at the bottom. I'd put it like in the Coalescence tier. You have to be careful. You can't fight with it. Sure, you can force people out of it. I don't think it's like a really good ult at the end of the day, but like you have to be careful. Like it's still like damage boost. Damage boost is scary. I can't believe we're like kind of forgetting about that. I'm good, Keelan. Thank you. Give me 1 second. Let me finish up this video. But yeah, that's the ult tier list. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Am I dumb? Am I stupid? Am I the smartest man on the planet? I don't care. Let me know. Like and subscribe while you're at it. This was filmed live, twitch.tv/Lane Hemingway, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when my AC is not completely broken. That is when I stream. If you have any hot takes or rework ideas or anything like that, join my Discord. It is down below. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day.